The chairman of Britain's 48 Group Club said, the 50th anniversary of the restoration of China's lawful seat in the United Nations affected history thereafter.
It was a fascinating time for us, watching the movement of history. And we should never forget that that moment in 1971 was a moment of great achievement for the People's Republic of China. It was just little more than 20 years since the People's Republic had started, and now China was a member of the inner circle of the Security Council of the United Nations. And that affected history thereafter.
Perry noted that today's world needs a global governance institution like the UN to solve major problems facing the world, and China supports the UN to better play such a global governance role.
The world today, the world then, needed a global governance body. The United Nations was the body that was formed after the Second World War, and China supported it as having that role. So China was saying to the world, we found that we could unite our people and develop our people and give our people what they needed by focusing on the removal of poverty and improving the people's living standards. And they were saying the same in the United Nations and in world events. So in that period of the last 10 years, we have seen China's view of the world getting a great deal more exposure.
Perry also spoke highly of China's effect on supporting the UN for the creation of a global governance.
So when we look forward now, remembering the past, we should see this as a process. And the process is towards the creation of a global governance which deals with those issues which are needed to be dealt with by global governance, not those that are properly dealt with by regional interactions and so on. If it takes that course of focusing, then China's effect on the United Nations will have been considerable. And it is properly viewed as a 100-year process, not as a 10-year or 5-year process. The United Nations is moving more and more in people's minds as the body that can produce global governance.